This is the last video in my series for quick prep applique, which is a form of back basting or needle turn applique. We have learned to turn under our edges and stitch curves. We've done points, outer points, and now we're going to do inner points. You'll notice that I have stitched down to, pretty close, about 1/4 of an inch away from the inner point. At this point, I stop and turn my work. I am going to clip one clip with my scissors into that point. I want to be sure I do it in just one clip. Multiple clips will produce multiple little threads that are going to stick out. So let's just do this in one. I'm going to put my scissors in. I'm going to position it, check it, look at, be sure I'm getting all the way down to the point. I want to clip clear into the point. One clip, and it's done. And we are ready to continue with our stitching. At this point, I really don't need a basting stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and take out the basting stitch right at the point. I'll clip this one up here and take this out. I've still got a little bit of a thread there, so I can kind of see where that edge is. I'm not quite as close as I'd like to be yet, so I'm going to take and do another stitch or so. So I get a little bit closer to the point. I'm doing the applique stitch. Okay. And then going to take a glue stick. In this case, I have Elmer's. I've had others in the past. The last time I went to buy them, the one I had been using was no longer available. Isn't that the way it goes? I'm going to take just a wee bit of, can you see it here? Here, let me see. Can you see just a little bit of glue? Okay. I'm going to place it on either side. Oopsie. And I'm going to actually paint it on here. Come on, there we go. Can you see how it's coming off and some of it is staying there? Okay. This one isn't, this glue stick isn't quite as, I'm going to have to try some others. It works. And I'll get it done. I'm doing it in the seam allowance on both sides. It will be done. Then I will take and turn it under. In this case, I don't want to put wood in the point. Putting wood could pull it out, so I'm going to use the point of my needle. I'm going to stick it right in here, right into the point, and flip this one back. The glue stick that I have put on there is holding it in place, so I have no little threads sticking out. And I'm going to go ahead and do my back basting stitch. Excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and do my applique stitch right down to the point. Now do remember, the closer you get to the point, the less seam allowance there is. And right at the point, there is no seam allowance. At the point itself, I'm going to stop and come in approximately 3 or maybe 4 threads of my applique fabric. Does that make sense? You can see there's just a little, let me get it back up here, just a little bit. Let me get a little closer. There, can you see that? Okay, I've come in just a little bit. I go ahead, pull this through, and by the way, this trick works only if you're working with thread that matches your applique fabric. Once I'm in here, I am then going to take and put a little stitch. Now, I'm not going to go through the background fabric. I am only going through the applique fabric right at the point, and I am making a stitch that is a little bit shallower than the one I just took. The one I just took was about 3 threads applique threads down into the heart. This one is only 1 or 2. So it's inside the first stitch. Pull it through and pull it up. And as I pull it up, it pulls this into a sharp little point. I'm then going to take and turn my work. And once again, I'm not using wood because right at the point, wood can pull things out. I'm going to come in instead, have this nice little point. If I've turned under too much, I simply grab it and pull it out so that it looks about right. Okay? Can we see this? Okay. Let me take this down. I'm taking this first stitch right directly off the one I just had. So the thread goes in the same, almost the same hole again. And then I come up the other side. I can do one of 2 things. I can just start right in, which sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. Or I can come in about 1/8 of an inch down, like I did with the outer point, and then work my way back. Either way, work pretty decent. Depending on your fabric, actually depending on the closeness of the weave of your fabric. And there we have our inner point. Can you see it there? We have seen how fast and accurate back basting with my quick prep applique method can be. From the smallest patch to the largest patches, back basting just simply can't be beat. But the best is yet to come. Check out my videos on lining an applique patch, sculpting a flower, or maybe a teddy bear. Make a split leaf, making skinny stems, or adding embroidery to our applique. There is so much more that is included in Quick Prep Applique. I would love to share these techniques with you and hope that you will view my other videos. In the meantime, happy appliquing!